The water hammer started at 11:43 p.m., which meant the coupling on the second floor line was about to blow. I was already in the basement when it happened, wrench in hand, flashlight wedged between my teeth like some kind of maintenance vampire. The smell down here never changes: mildew, rust, and whatever the hell Mrs. Chen cooks every Thursday that makes the whole building smell like fermented dreams. I've stopped trying to identify it. Some things are better left in the realm of mystery. Why residents assume 24-hour emergency maintenance means I'm waiting in the hallway wearing a tool belt like Superman with a plunger. I'm Alex Brant, 52, building superintendent, part-time night security at the Boardwalk Amusement Park, amateur plumber, electrician, locksmith, therapist, and, if you ask Mrs. Ramirez in 3B, part-time exorcist, because she swears the walls whisper in Spanish when the lights go out. And 6 months ago, I became the guy whose wife spent half a year sleeping with Devin Pike, a car lot finance manager with a cocaine habit everyone whispered about but nobody proved. Not that it mattered. I wasn't married to the rumors. I was married to Lila. I just didn't know she'd filed for emotional relocation long before the paperwork. The coupling burst right on schedule. Water sprayed across the concrete like a broken promise. High pressure turned the leak into a silver whip, lashing the room until my jeans were soaked through and my socks took on that cold, wet cement feeling I've come to associate with both plumbing failures and failed relationships. I shut the main valve, wiped my face, and thought about what my ex-wife Lila used to say: "You fix things that don't need fixing." She was wrong. Everything needs fixing. You just have to know when to tighten and when to let it fall apart. Funny thing about water, it doesn't care what gets in the way. It finds the cracks, pushes through, wears things down, grain by grain, until what was once solid becomes pliable, then ruins it. Affairs work the same way. So do families. I caught them the boring way. No hidden cameras, no private detective, no dramatic confrontation in a hotel room. Just Uber receipts that didn't match her story. Instagram geotags at the same diner twice in 1 week when she claimed she was at yoga. And the smart lock log on my building system showing Devin Pike entering Unit 406 17 times over 3 months, using a guest code only I was supposed to have. Nothing cinematic. Just digital breadcrumbs someone too comfortable leaves behind. The divorce finalized 4 months ago. I got this rental unit I manage, some tools, and the satisfaction of knowing I documented everything legally. Lila got the house, the car, and our 2 kids' loyalty, which apparently was always hers to keep anyway. Lawyers call it irreconcilable differences. I call it the slow realization that the person you built your life around was already living in someone else's floor plan. Tyler is 26, my son. Slick startup operations lead who talks about disruption and optimization like he invented the concepts. He wears sneakers that cost more than my monthly electric bill and thinks a tool belt is aesthetic if you pair it with the right kind of flannel. He's engaged to Kelsey Ward, a woman who treats social media like a religion and other people like set decoration. She narrates her life in hashtags, makes eye contact only when a camera is pointed at her, and has the emotional depth of a Wi-Fi password. Naomi is 23, my daughter. Influencer adjacent, which means she takes pictures of her breakfast and calls it a career. She claims she's building a brand, which, near as I can tell, means curating a personality the way some people curate succulents, overwatered, underrooted, and mostly decorative. She believes every word Lila says, which makes sense since Lila has been rewriting history since the affair ended. According to the latest draft, I was emotionally unavailable, controlling, and too focused on the building. The fact that the building paid for her car and Naomi's art school tuition apparently didn't make the cut. I fixed the pipe, cleaned up the water, and headed back to my apartment on the 3rd floor. The key room is just off the main hallway, a converted closet with a pegboard holding every master, unit, and utility key for the building. I check it every night before bed. Force of habit. Control what you can control. Because life, as it turns out, is mostly the stuff you can't. That's when I noticed it. The spare key for Unit 406 was missing. The hook sat empty, a little circle of dust where the ring should have been. I know that circle. I know every key on that wall like a dentist knows enamel wear. I could reach in blind and pull the right key by weight and shape alone. But this one, this empty hook, felt like a missing tooth. I'd lent that unit to Tyler and Kelsey 2 weeks ago for staging, whatever the hell that meant. They needed somewhere to photograph furniture for their wedding registry, or so Tyler claimed. He said the natural light in 406 was perfect for content. 30 years ago, people got married, got a toaster, and called it a day. Now they curate a visual narrative of what their future kitchen might look like and post it with affiliate links. My phone buzzed. Text from Tyler. Need your master key tomorrow for movers. Don't be petty. I stared at the empty hook. They were already in my walls. The thing about kids is they inherit what you don't realize you're handing them. Not just DNA, habits, blind spots, entitlements. They grow up thinking the world is a door that opens because someone else already oiled the hinges. Tyler thinks every space I manage belongs to him in potential, like I'm just the custodian of his future options. Naomi thinks broken things appear fixed because someone else made the work invisible. Maybe that someone was always me. Maybe that was the whole problem. I put the wrench back on its shelf and sat in the folding chair by the boiler, listening to the pipes settle into silence. Buildings breathe differently after a repair, like they're waiting for what comes next. I was waiting too. When you live in a building long enough, the walls stop being drywall and studs and start being a nervous system. You feel the tremors. You know the rhythms. You hear new sounds the way a parent hears a baby cough down the hall. That's what happened around 1 a.m. A soft clink from the stairwell, metal on metal, faint but wrong. Then footsteps, light, careful ones, not resident casual, purposeful. 2 minutes later, the motion sensor kicked on in the main hallway, the one with the key room. I climbed the stairs without making noise, the kind of climb you learn from years of late-night leak calls and not wanting to be cornered by chatty tenants in slippers. At the top of the stairs, I listened. Someone was in the key room. I didn't burst in. I'm not a hero. But I eased closer, slow, and saw a sliver of light coming from the cracked door. A phone flashlight. Someone searching. I pushed the door open. Tyler stood there, hoodie up, scrolling through the tags on the pegboard like he was shopping. Not surprised, not guilty, just annoyed I was early to the scene of my own trespass. "Dad," he said, like the word was a chore. "I was going to text." "You already did," I said. "You said tomorrow." He shrugged. "Plans changed. We need 406 tonight. Movers are coming early." "You already have the spare key." He hesitated. Just a blink, but I saw it. "That key's misplaced," he said. "No," I said. "It's missing, and you took it." Silence. The quiet kind, thick with things neither of us wanted to say. "Look," he finally said. "This is business, grown-up stuff. You're getting weird about power tools and doorknobs. We're just trying to build something." "You're trying to build something," I said. "But you're doing it with a foundation you didn't lay. God, you always make it dramatic." He sighed. "It's just a key." "No," I said. "It was trust." He rolled his eyes. Same expression he used at 12 when I told him Wi-Fi wasn't a human right. "You're not the only one who gets to decide things anymore," he said. "Mom said you'd pull this territorial crap." There it was, the echo of Lila, spoken in a younger voice. "What else did Mom say?" I asked. "That you're mad at the world because you didn't evolve with it." I let that sit. It wasn't entirely wrong, but it wasn't entirely right either. "Tyler," I said, "you don't get to take what isn't yours just because you think you'll use it better." He shook his head, pocketed his phone, and walked past me toward the stairs. "You can either help," he said, "or stay out of the way." I didn't follow him. I just stood there, staring at the empty peg, wondering when my son stopped being a kid I protected and became a man who saw me as an obstacle. The next morning, I went to 406. I didn't knock. It's still my building. If you come into my house using a key you stole, you waive the courtesy of doorbells. The unit was half staged, half ransacked. Furniture that didn't belong to any tenant. Lighting kits. A tripod. Kelsey on the floor, surrounded by throw pillows the color of overpriced gelato. She looked up, saw me, and offered a smile she only wore for cameras. "Oh, hi, Alex. We're almost done. Don't worry, we'll clean." "It's not about clean," I said. "It's about permission." She blinked like she was buffering. Tyler came out of the bedroom carrying a box labeled props. Not books, not dishes. Props. Things that exist only to look like other things. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "I should be everywhere a stolen key goes," I said. He set the box down. "We didn't steal anything. We just didn't wait for you to catch up." "You keep using words," I said, "but none of them mean what you think they mean." Kelsey stood, brushing off imaginary dust. "We're creating something," she said. "Content is currency now. This unit has great light. It's a vibe. A vibe." This was the world now, where light replaced rent and vibes replaced respect. I walked to the wall and twisted the thermostat to off. Then I shut the breaker. "What are you doing?" Tyler snapped. "Establishing boundaries," I said. "You want to run a business out of this unit? Sign a lease, pay utilities, get insurance, or leave. You can't do that." I just did. He stared at me the way someone stares at a locked door they assumed would open. "You know what, Dad? Mom was right. You're petty. You fix things because you can't fix yourself." Maybe, maybe not. But I know this. When a pipe bursts, ignoring it doesn't stop the leak. I closed the door behind me. And by afternoon, word had spread. Tenants always notice power shifts, even if they don't know the details. They sense tension in the hallway air like dogs before earthquakes. Mrs. Ramirez offered me tamales for strength. Mr. Vogel grunted something about kids these days and went back to sharpening his pocket knife, which I chose not to interpret. Mrs. Chen fed me a bowl of whatever Thursday recipe was currently terrorizing the vents. It tasted like garlic, seaweed, and regret, but it was warm. I thought about calling Lila, telling her to keep her opinions about me out of Tyler's mouth. But what would that do? She'd just rewrite the argument and hand him the new draft. Instead, I took inventory of every key, every code, every lock. I changed the digital guest system, wiped every access log, reset the master list. The building hummed the way a car does when you lift the hood and promise it you're listening again. At 10 p.m., my phone buzzed. Tyler again. "Returning 406 key. We're done." No apology, no acknowledgement, just transactional compliance. I went to the lobby. He was waiting by the mailboxes, key in hand. No Kelsey, no props. Just him, eyes tired, jaw tense. He handed it over. "We cleaned," he said. "I'll see for myself," I said. He nodded, started to leave, stopped. "Why do you care so much?" he asked. "It's just space." "No," I said. "It's responsibility. It's knowing who's where, when, and why. That's how buildings stay standing. That's how people stay safe." He didn't respond. Just walked out into the night, sneaker soles squeaking on the tile. Later, alone in 406, I stood in the middle of the stage living room. Everything was back in place, but not right. The air felt handled, touched without respect, like someone had borrowed my jacket and returned it warm from their body. I opened the windows. Let the cold in. Buildings need fresh air the way people need truth. On the floor near the wall, I found something they missed. A scrap of paper. A shooting schedule. Monday, kitchen set. Tuesday, lifestyle shots. Wednesday, brand collab. Thursday, final sweep. Friday, submit campaign assets. They weren't photographing furniture. They were selling the illusion of a life inside a space that wasn't theirs. I folded the paper, slipped it into my pocket, and turned off the lights. Everything needs fixing. Pipes, locks, families. But some repairs don't come from tightening anything. Some come from walking away before the whole system fails. I locked the door, heard the bolt slide into place, and for the first time in months, it sounded like something closing that was meant to close. The building exhaled. So did I. Before we continue, hit the hype button, subscribe, and like the video to help the channel grow. Tell us which city you are from in the comments. We'd love to get to know our audience better. Dawn broke gray over the boardwalk. I watched it from the key room window while logging every tag on the board into my personal spreadsheet. Maintenance guy paranoia, June Park calls it. June is the property manager, the only person in this building who treats me like I have a brain. I called her at 7. Missing key? She said. From 406? Gone since yesterday. I lent the unit to my kid. Now he wants the master. Don't give it to him. Wasn't planning to. June sighed. You documenting this? Everything. Good. Watch yourself, Alex. Kids these days think property is personality. I hung up and made coffee so strong it could strip paint. The building woke up around me, footsteps overhead, someone's TV muttering game show questions, the couple in 304 fighting about who forgot to buy milk. Normal people living normal lives. I used to have that. Now I have keys and a list. Tyler's text came through again. Hello, Dad. Master key? Moving day? I typed back, file a request through June. 24 hours notice required per lease. 3 dots appeared. Stopped. Appeared again. Are you serious right now? Yes. Mom was right about you. I pocketed my phone and headed to the boardwalk. My security shift started at 9, but I liked getting there early, watching the rides wake up. The Ferris wheel, the roller coaster, the carousel with its chipped paint horses. Everything old, everything maintained, everything exactly where it should be. Officer Ray Doyle was parked by the south entrance, finishing his coffee. We've known each other for 5 years, ever since I started the night shift. He's the kind of cop who actually walks his beat instead of just cruising past. Alex, he said, nodding. Ray, you look tired. Pipe burst last night. Ain't that always the way? We stood there a moment, watching seagulls fight over a dropped hot dog bun. Then Ray said, Heard you had some trouble at the diner parking lot last week, with Devin Pike. I kept my face neutral. He wanted money. I said no. He pushed. I pushed back. You showed up. Nobody got arrested. He's in rough shape these days. Not my problem anymore. Ray gave me a look that said he understood exactly what I meant. Just keep it clean, Alex. Whatever you're planning. I'm not planning anything. Then why do you look like a man building a case? I smiled. Didn't answer. Walked into the park. The rest of the day passed in the usual rhythm. Checking locks, watching tourists, making sure the teenagers working the game booths didn't steal from the registers. At 4 p.m., my phone lit up with a notification. An email. Wedding invitation. Not sent to me directly, but forwarded by Mara Hale, Lila's ex-best friend and the woman I've been seeing for 3 months. Subject line, You weren't supposed to see this. Inside was a BCC'd invitation to Tyler and Kelsey's wedding. Beach hotel ballroom, 100 guests, and in the notes section, a toast schedule that included. I forwarded it to June with one line, Document this. Her response came back in seconds. Already done. Also, Lila tried to add herself as your unit's emergency contact this morning. I denied it. She's furious. I sat in my security booth and laughed until my ribs hurt. They thought they were clever. They thought I was just some maintenance guy who'd roll over and let them gut me for parts. They were wrong. Mara's bar shift ended at midnight. I waited in the boardwalk lounge, which was technically closed, but Mara had keys and permission to clean up after hours. She poured us both whiskey, neat, and slid onto the stool next to mine. Apparently. You gonna crash the wedding? I'm gonna RSVP. She laughed. Mara has this way of laughing that makes you feel like you're in on the joke instead of being the joke. That's why I fell for her. That and the fact she knows exactly who Lila really is, because they used to be friends before Lila decided Mara's bartending job was beneath the aesthetic. I made you something, Mara said, pulling out a folded paper from her apron. Call it reconnaissance. I opened it. Names, phone numbers, business emails, wedding planner, caterer, stylist, florist, Kelsey's personal photographer, all the vendors making the big day happen. How'd you get this? Kelsey's bridal shower. I serve drinks. People talk. I scanned the list. At the bottom, a handwritten note. Registry includes your apartment address listed as our future pied-à-terre. Check line 47. My vision went red for exactly 3 seconds. Then it cleared. Revenge isn't fire. It's a wrench you turn until the drip stops. They think they're moving into 406, I said. After the wedding? Without asking. Tyler probably told her you'd give in eventually, that you always do. I folded the paper and tucked it into my jacket. I need to make some calls. You need to be careful, Mara said. She touched my hand. I know that look. That's the look you get before pipes start breaking in the right places. I'm not breaking anything. I'm just tightening what's loose. Alex, I'm serious. Everything I do will be legal, public record, proper notice. No hacking, no stalking, no midnight property damage. Just leverage. She studied me. You really think you can outplay them? I don't have to outplay them. I just have to let them play themselves. We finished our drinks in comfortable silence. When I left, Mara kissed me at the door, the kind of kiss that says, be careful and also destroy them. I drove home, checked the keyboard, still missing the 406 spare, checked my email. Naomi had posted an Instagram story calling me landlord, not father. The comments were full of fire emojis and yas queen and people who didn't know me agreeing I was a monster. I screenshotted it and sent it to June. Her reply, document everything. There's a rumor going around that they're trying to build a case to evict you from your own unit. Lila's been calling the main office, claiming negligence. I sat on my couch and stared at the ceiling. They weren't just cutting me out. They were trying to erase me completely. Take my home, take my job, take my dignity and repackage it as their success story. Not happening. The Ferris wheel looks different at night. The lights blur into something almost beautiful, and the ocean wind carries the smell of fried dough and salt. I was doing my final security round when I saw him, Devin Pike, leaning against the ticket booth, talking to one of the ride operators. I stopped, watched. Devin handed something small to the operator, who pocketed it and walked away fast. I moved closer, staying in the shadows near the maintenance shed. Devin lit a cigarette, checked his phone, then pulled something out of his jacket. A ring, Lila's engagement ring. I'd recognize it anywhere. I paid for that ring when I was 24 and stupid in love. He was pawning it to a carny for drug money. Something in me snapped. I stepped into the light. Devin! He spun, eyes wide. Alex, hey, I was just pawning my money. What? No, man, this is my ring, Lila's ring, same thing. He backed up. I advanced. Not fast, not threatening, just inevitable. Look, I don't want trouble, Devin said. Then leave. I need cash, just 100. I'll pay you back. No. Alex, come on, for old time's sake. We don't have old times. You were screwing my wife. His face hardened. She wanted me. She wanted someone who wasn't there. You were just convenient. He swung, sloppy, desperate. I ducked, grabbed his wrist, twisted. He yelped. I shoved him against the ticket booth. Behind us, the Ferris wheel groaned on its axis. Stay away from me, I said. Stay away from my building. Stay away from my life. Or what? Devin spat. You'll beat me up? Big man. I let him go. Or nothing. You're already beating yourself up just fine. He ran, not toward the parking lot, toward the rides, into the park proper where the shadows got deeper and the maintenance catwalks stretched like metal veins. I should have let him go. I didn't. I followed him up the service ladder behind the Ferris wheel, boots clanging on metal rungs. Devin was fast when he was scared. He made it to the operator's platform, then across the catwalk toward the roller coaster maintenance bay. I stayed behind him, just close enough to keep him panicking. "Leave me alone!" he shouted. I didn't answer. Silence is louder. He stumbled, caught himself, kept running. We were 40 feet up now, the ocean wind whipping hard enough to sting. Below us, the park lights made everything look fake, plastic, staged. Devin cornered himself on the Ferris wheel loading platform. Nowhere to go but down the ladder or through me. "What do you want?" he gasped. "Information." About what? About why my son has a master key to my building. About why Kelsey is listed as your boss in your phone contacts. About why you're here at all. Devin's face went pale. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Yes, you do." He lunged for the ladder. I caught his jacket, yanked him back. He swung wild. I blocked, grabbed his collar, and slammed him against the railing. Not hard enough to hurt, hard enough to make a point. "Talk," I said. "Tyler gave me the key," Devin choked out. "Said I could use 406 whenever. Said it was going to be his soon anyway. Said he'd flip your lease somehow and I could crash there. And Kelsey? She's funding me, paying for rehab, paying for me to mess with you. Why? Because you're embarrassing, because you're poor, because Tyler wants you gone and she wants Tyler happy." I let him go. He collapsed onto the platform, gasping. I looked down at the ground below, all those people having fun, unaware that 40 feet above them, a man was breaking. Devin scrambled to his feet and jumped the turnstile. He ran down the exit ramp, jacket flapping. Something fell from his pocket, clattered on the metal, a key tag, stamped with Master. I picked it up, turned it over, my building's logo. Ray Doyle's cruiser pulled up to the park entrance just as I climbed down. He looked at me, looked at the platform, looked at Devin disappearing into the parking lot. "You good?" Ray asked. "Yeah." "He good?" "He's alive." Ray nodded slowly. "Keep it that way, Alex." "Always do." I went home with the key tag in my pocket and a plan forming in my head like ice. Old man Calder runs a locksmith shop 2 blocks from my building. He's 81, been cutting keys since before I was born, and knows more about leverage than any lawyer I've met. "Alex," he said, not looking up, "heard you had a scuffle at the boardwalk. News travels?" "Always does." He set down the file. "What do you need?" I showed him the master key tag. "Someone gave this to a junkie to harass me. It's from my building. Only 3 people have access to cut copies. Me, the property manager, and the owner." "So one of them betrayed you." "My son. I think he convinced the owner somehow. Or copied mine." Calder examined the tag. "You want revenge." "I want leverage." "Same thing, done right." He smiled. "Sit down. Let me teach you about noise." For the next 2 hours, Calder explained the art of legal harassment, how scheduled maintenance can force meetings, how fire code inspections require notice, how noise complaints trigger reviews, how every building has a dozen regulations that tenants never read, but management has to enforce. "You control the calendar," Calder said. "You control the narrative. Make everything loud, make everything documented, make them exhausted." I took notes. Calder watched me write and said, "You're not doing this for the building, are you?" "No." "For yourself?" "For the principal. They think they can erase me. I'm going to show them I'm the only thing keeping their world from flooding." "Good," Calder said. "Principles sharpen a man. Just don't let them dull you." I walked home, set up a timeline wall in my apartment. Dates, screenshots, texts, key logs, everything public, everything legal, every piece of evidence showing a pattern of unauthorized access and attempted manipulation. June called at 8 p.m. You sitting down? Should I be? Lila added herself as emergency contact for your unit again. Used some old power of attorney paperwork from before the divorce. I caught it, but she's pushing hard. Let her push. Alex, she could cause real problems. June, I said, let her push. I want this documented. I want every attempt on record. I want a paper trail so thick they choke on it. Silence. Then, you're building a case. I'm building a fortress. What's the end game? They wanted me erased. I'm going to show them what erased really looks like. June laughed. You're a scary man when you're angry. I'm not scary. I'm scheduled. I hung up and added another line to my timeline. Tomorrow I'd file notice for a comprehensive building inspection. Fire alarms, water pressure, electrical, everything requiring tenant presence and cooperation, including Unit 406. I entered Unit 406 at 9 a.m. with June present, a camera on my shoulder and a clipboard full of inspection forms. The unit was supposed to be empty. It wasn't. Wine glasses on the counter, scuff marks on the hardwood, a silk robe monogrammed with KW draped over the bedroom chair. Kelsey had been living here, not staging. Living. I photographed everything. June took notes. We documented water damage around the sink from careless use, scratches near the door handle consistent with forced entry, a closet full of boxes labeled wedding gifts, do not open. This is a lease violation, June said quietly. Multiple violations. I know. You want me to file? Not yet. Let them dig deeper. We were finishing up when I heard keys in the lock. The door swung open. Tyler, Kelsey, and a photographer holding a ring light. What the hell? Tyler said. Routine inspection, I replied. Noticed some irregularities. This is our unit. No, this is my building's unit. You had permission to stage photos, not to move in. Kelsey stepped forward, phone already recording. You're harassing us. I'm inspecting property I manage. You're pathetic, she said. Trying to ruin our wedding because you can't handle being replaced. Replaced? I looked at her. Really looked. She was beautiful the way a magazine cover is beautiful. Flat, glossy, empty. You can't replace someone who was never competing. Give us the keys, Kelsey said. We need access for deliveries. File a request through June. No, she held out her hand. Now. No, she slapped me. The sound echoed in the empty unit. June gasped. Tyler froze. The photographer kept filming. I didn't move, didn't flinch, just looked at Kelsey and said, You just assaulted me on camera, in front of a witness, in a unit you have no legal right to occupy. Kelsey started. Get out, I said. All of you, now. You can't. I can. I will. Leave, or I'm calling the police. Tyler grabbed Kelsey's arm. Come on. No! She yanked free. This is ours. He promised. I promised nothing, I said. You assumed everything. Kelsey grabbed for my key ring. I stepped back. She lunged. I sidestepped. She fell into the doorframe, crying now, furious and humiliated. Tyler pulled her up and out. The photographer followed. June locked the door behind them. That was stupid of them, she said. Yeah. You're not pressing charges? Not yet. Let them think they got away with it. Ray Doyle showed up 30 minutes later, responding to Kelsey's 911 call. He listened to both sides, watched June's footage, told Kelsey that assaulting someone on camera wasn't protected speech, told me I had every right to press charges but didn't have to. I didn't. Why not? Kelsey screamed. I smiled at her. Because I don't need to. The cafe was small, tucked between a laundromat and a tax office. The kind of place where local reporters grab coffee between assignments. I sat across from Nina Marsh, 28, junior writer for the County Gazette, ambitious and hungry for real stories. Why me? She asked. Because you wrote that piece on rental scams last year. Because you understand housing law. Because I'm offering you a story about influencer culture meets real estate fraud. I'm listening. I slid a folder across the table. Everything in here is public record. Building permits, fire code notices, lease agreements, screenshots from public social media posts showing people claiming residence in units they have no legal right to. Nina flipped through the pages. This is your building. Yes. Your son. Yes. You're trying to ruin your kid's wedding. I'm trying to protect my property and my job. If that ruins anything else, that's collateral damage. She studied me. This is personal. It's business. Personal would be burning their house down. I'm just enforcing the rules they ignored. Nina tapped the folder. If I write this, people will hate you. They already do. At least this way, they'll know why. She smiled. I'll need to verify everything. It's all public. Check for yourself. What do you want in return? Nothing. I want the truth on record. Whatever happens after that, happens. She took the folder. I'll look into it. I left the cafe and checked my phone. A DM from Mara, voice note from Naomi had leaked. Mom says he won't even be invited. He'll probably show up anyway, like mildew. Mildew. I laughed. Mildew is persistent. Mildew survives. I called Mara. Tell Naomi I'm RSVPing yes. You sure? Absolutely. This is gonna get ugly. It already is. I'm just showing up to watch. That evening, old man Calder called. Found something. Gabe Ward, Kelsey's father. And? Sober 8 years. Lives 2 towns over. Works at a warehouse. I know his AA sponsor. Or lets people think it. Her mother filed a restraining order 20 years ago. After that, nothing. He disappeared from public life, got clean, rebuilt quiet. Kelsey rewrote him into a tragedy. Can you connect us? Already did. He knows you'll call. Decides himself if he answers. I stared at my phone for a full minute before dialing the number Calder sent. It rang 4 times. Hello? Gabe Ward? Who's this? Alex Brant. My son is marrying your daughter. I think we should talk. Silence. Then, yeah, we should. The hotel parking garage smelled like exhaust and rain. I was leaning against my car when Devin showed up, jumpy and desperate, checking over his shoulder like someone was following him. Why are you here? I asked. Kelsey called. Said I need to get something from your car. What? The receipts, the files, whatever you're building. They're not in my car. She said, Kelsey's lying to you. She's using you. Devin lunged for my door handle. I grabbed his wrist, twisted, slammed him against the chain-link fence separating the garage from the loading bay. He struggled. I hooked his jacket sleeve onto the fence with a maintenance clip from my belt. Not tight enough to hurt, tight enough to hold. Stop, I said. Just stop. Security cameras hummed overhead. This was all visible, all legal. Just a man defending his property. Devin's phone slipped from his pocket. It landed face up, unlocked, showing his text thread with someone listed as boss. Kelsey. I photographed the screen, the visible messages. Bring keys to wedding. Make sure Alex doesn't come. Do whatever it takes. You're working for her, I said. She pays me, Devin gasped. Rehab, rent, food. To hurt me. To scare you away. You're embarrassing, Tyler. You make them look poor. And you're fine with that? Devin looked at me. His eyes were empty. I'm fine with eating. I unclipped him. He fell to the pavement. I handed him his phone. Tell Kelsey I'm coming to the wedding. Tell her I'm bringing a guest. Who? Someone she forgot existed. Devin ran. I stood in the garage under the fluorescent lights and felt the last piece of the puzzle click into place. The pier stretched into darkness. Mara and I sat on the edge, legs dangling over the water, watching fishing boats come in. I found Kelsey's father, I said. Jesus. I'm calling him tomorrow, asking him to come to the wedding. Mara turned to look at me. Alex. That's brutal. It's true. It's vindictive. It's both. I picked up a pebble, tossed it into the water. They want me erased. I'm gonna show them what erasing really means. I'm gonna bring back the man Kelsey erased from her own story. And if he says no, then I tried. But I don't think he will. The next morning, I called Gabe Ward. We agreed to meet at a diner halfway between his town and mine. I got there first, ordered coffee, waited. He walked in at 9. Tall, calloused hands, clean-shaven, wearing a flannel shirt and work jeans. He looked like a man who'd been through hell and climbed out the other side. "Alex?" he said. "Gabe, sit." He sat, ordered coffee, stared at his hands for a long moment before speaking. "Kelsey was 6 when I left," he said. "Restraining order, custody battle, the works. I was drinking bad back then. Real bad. Did some things I'm not proud of. And now? Sober 8 years. Warehouse supervisor. Quiet life. I tried reaching out when Kelsey turned 18, but her mother blocked me. Then Kelsey blocked me herself. She doesn't want a living father. I'm sorry. Don't be." Gabe looked at me. "Why are you calling me now?" I told him everything. The affair, the divorce, the kids choosing sides, the wedding that was really an execution, the plans to erase me from my own property and life. Gabe listened. When I finished, he said, "You want me to crash the wedding? I want you to walk through a door. That's all. Let them see you're real. Let Kelsey see that she's been lying to everyone, including herself." "That's cruel." "Yes. She'll hate you." "She already does." Gabe rubbed his face. "What's in it for you?" "Truth. And watching the people who tried to bury me realize they buried the wrong man." He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "What do I have to do?" "Show up. Stand in the doorway. Let the room see you, that's it. You don't have to speak. You don't have to explain. Just exist." Gabe's hands shook. "I cried every year on her birthday for 18 years. Her mother told her I didn't care. Kelsey believed it." "Then give her a reason to question everything." He nodded slowly. "When?" "The wedding. I'll call you with the exact time. Just be ready." We shook hands. His grip was strong, a working man's grip. "Thank you," I said. "Don't thank me," Gabe replied. "I'm doing this for me, not you. I want my daughter to see." The rehearsal dinner happened at the hotel. I wasn't invited, but I dropped off a letter with the hotel manager anyway. Professional, courteous, outlining that I expected harassment during the wedding and would not engage or cause a scene. Paper trail, always a paper trail. Naomi cornered me in the parking lot. "What are you doing here?" she demanded. "Delivering documents." "You're not welcome." "I know." "Then why come?" I looked at my daughter. Really looked. She had her mother's eyes and my stubbornness. A dangerous combination. Because silence is permission. I want everyone to know I'm aware of what's happening. Nothing's happening. You're paranoid. Am I? I pulled out the master key tag, the one Devin dropped. Who gave him this? Naomi's face went white. I don't know what that is. Yes, you do. This is a master key to my building. Devin had it. Someone gave it to him. Someone with access. Maybe you dropped it. I didn't, but Tyler had access. Kelsey had access. And now I have it back. You're trying to ruin Mom's life. Lila ruined her own life when she cheated. I'm just refusing to pay for it anymore. Naomi's voice cracked. She loves you. She made a mistake. For 6 months. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. You're heartless. I'm practical. There's a difference. She turned to leave. I called after her. Naomi, I wrote you a letter 2 years ago, a real one, about how proud I was. You deleted it without reading it. She stopped. Betrayal isn't a one-night act, I said. It's erosion. You helped erode me. Now you get to watch what's left. She didn't turn around, just walked away, shoulders shaking. I went home, checked my email. Nina Marsh had sent a draft article, Influencer Culture Meets Housing Law, When Social Media Fame Collides with Real Estate Reality. It was fair, balanced, factual. It would publish the day after the wedding. Perfect timing. The wedding day started gray and humid. I put on my one good suit, checked my phone, and called Gabe Ward. "You ready?" I asked. "No," he said, "but I'm coming anyway. I'll text you when to arrive. Park in the back lot. Wait for my call. When I call, walk through the main ballroom door. That's it. Just walk in. Just exist." "Alex." "Yeah?" "Thanks for giving me this chance." "Don't thank me yet." I arrived at the hotel at 2. The wedding started at 4. I wasn't on the guest list, but I had confirmation from the hotel manager that I'd filed my notice. Legal presence. No trespassing. The ballroom was decorated like a magazine spread. White flowers, string lights, a photo booth with props. Kelsey's aesthetic on full display. Tyler stood near the bar, talking to groomsmen in matching suspenders. Lila sat with Devon in a corner booth. Naomi flitted between tables, phone constantly raised, documenting everything. I took a seat in the back row. No one stopped me. A few people stared. Most ignored me. Kelsey saw me during the processional. Her face hardened. She whispered something to Tyler. He nodded. The ceremony was fast. Vows that sounded copy-pasted from Pinterest. Rings exchanged. Kiss, applause. Then the reception. Toasts. Tyler's best man made a joke about finally escaping family drama. Kelsey's maid of honor called her the strongest woman I know. Lila cried performatively. Then Kelsey stood, took the mic, looked directly at me. "I want to thank everyone for coming," she said, "especially those who support us unconditionally. And I want to acknowledge that some people here don't understand what family means, what loyalty means." The room got quiet. Some people hold on to things that aren't theirs. She smiled, like keys. She walked over to my table, held out her hand. "Alex, we need your apartment keys, for gift storage, since you've been difficult about access." The room watched. "No," I said. "Excuse me?" "No, you have no legal right to my property. Tyler is your son. And you're not my daughter-in-law. You're a stranger in a white dress." She slapped me. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Tyler jumped up. Lila screamed. Devon started laughing. I didn't move, didn't react, just pulled out my phone and dialed. "Now," I said. Gabe Ward walked through the ballroom door, clean suit, graying hair, sober eyes. Kelsey's mother saw him first. She stood, hand over her mouth, and collapsed back into her chair. Kelsey turned. Froze. "Kelsey," Gabe said softly. "It's me, Dad." The ballroom erupted. Kelsey's mother sobbed. Guests pulled out phones. Tyler looked at me, face twisted in rage. "What did you do?" he hissed. "I brought the truth," I said. "You wanted drama. Here it is." Kelsey couldn't speak. She just stared at Gabe like he was a ghost. Gabe stood in the doorway, hands in his pockets, looking like a man who'd walked through fire to get here. "I'm alive," he said. "I've been alive. I've been sober. I've been 2 towns over for 8 years. I know. Your mother told you that. It was easier than the truth." "What truth?" "That I was sick, that I got better, that I tried to reach you and you blocked me." Kelsey's mother stood, shaking. "You had a restraining order." "That expired 15 years ago," Gabe said. "I stayed away because Kelsey wanted me to, not because I didn't care." The room fractured. Some people moved toward Gabe. Others surrounded Kelsey. Tyler pulled her aside, whispering urgently. Lila looked at me with murder in her eyes. I stood, walked to the microphone, picked it up. "Since we're trading keys and ghosts," I said, "let me add some clarity." "Don't," Tyler warned. "Unit 406 in my building. The one you claimed as your pied-à-terre. The one Kelsey has been living in without permission. The one you planned to steal from me." I pulled out a folder. "I have photographs. Key logs, witness statements, all public, all legal, all showing a pattern of trespassing and fraud. You're lying, Kelsey said. I'm documented. I handed the folder to the hotel manager, who'd been watching from the corner. I'm formally terminating any permissions to my property. Tyler and Kelsey are no longer authorized for any access. This is effective immediately. You can't do that, Tyler said. I just did. June Park stepped forward. She'd been in the crowd the whole time, waiting. I'm the property manager. I confirm this action. Alex has full authority. Tyler's face went red. This is my wedding. And this is my life, I said. You tried to take it. I'm taking it back. I set the mic down and walked out. Gabe followed me. So did Mara, who'd been sitting quietly in the back. Behind us, the ballroom exploded into arguments. Kelsey crying, Tyler shouting, Lila screaming, Devin laughing until someone punched him. We made it to the parking lot before Tyler caught up. You destroyed everything, he said. No, I replied. You did. I just stopped pretending it was okay. You're not my father anymore. I never was to you. I was just a tool. He tried to hit me. I caught his fist, twisted, put him on the ground using leverage Calder taught me. Not hard. Just enough. I'm done, I said. With you. With Kelsey. With all of it. Stay away from my property. Stay away from me. Or next time, I press charges. I let him go. Walked to my car. Drove away with Mara beside me and Gabe following in his truck. Behind us, the wedding burned. The boardwalk was quiet. Storm clouds gathering offshore. Mara, Gabe, and I sat on a bench near the Ferris wheel, watching the ocean churn. That was insane, Mara said. That was necessary, I replied. Gabe looked at his hands. Thank you for calling me, for giving me that moment. You earned it by staying sober. Kelsey won't forgive me. Maybe not. But now she knows you're real. The rest is her choice. My phone buzzed. Message from Nina Marsh. Article goes live tomorrow morning. Are you ready? I typed back, yes. Another message. This one from Devin. Kelsey wants me to scare you at the ride yard. Bring the keys. I'm done with this shit, but she's paying me $1,000. Just give me the keys and I walk away. I showed it to Mara. She frowned. That's a confession. That's desperation. Are you going? Yes. Alex. I'll call Ray first. He'll be on standby. I stood. This ends tonight. Gabe stood too. I'm coming with you. You don't have to. I want to. We drove to the ride yard. It was closed, fenced off, machinery silent under tarps. Rain started falling. I called Ray Doyle. Devin Pike is trying to ambush me at the park, I said. I'm going to meet him. If you don't hear from me in 30 minutes, come find me. Alex, don't do this. It's already done. Just be ready. I hung up. Gabe and I entered through the maintenance gate. The yard was dark, lit only by emergency floods. Devin stood near the roller coaster base, 2 guys with him. Not fighters, just desperate men. Alex? Devin called. You came. I came. Bring the keys? No. Then we have a problem. No, Devin, you have a problem. This is a closed park. You're trespassing. I've already called the police. They're 3 minutes away. You're bluffing. I pulled the emergency stop cord. Alarms shrieked. Lights flashed red. The whole park lit up like a crime scene. Devin's friends ran. Devin stood there, frozen. I'm not scary, Devin, I said. I'm just scheduled. Ray's cruiser pulled up. He stepped out, flashlight sweeping the yard. Devin bolted. Ray didn't chase him, just looked at me and shook his head. You're testing me, Alex. I'm protecting myself. By setting off alarms? It's a safety test. Required monthly per insurance. Check my logs. Ray smiled, despite himself. You're something else. Tyler appeared from behind a tarp, face twisted, wet from rain. You, he said, pointing at me. This is all your fault. No, this is all your choice. I gave Devin the master key. I paid Kelsey to help. I wanted you gone. Why? Because you're embarrassing. You're poor. You fix toilets. Every time someone asks what my dad does, I have to lie. I stared at him. My son. This stranger. I don't fix toilets, I said. I maintain buildings. I keep people safe. I work. That's not embarrassing. That's living. It's pathetic. Then you won't miss me. I handed Ray a folder. Everything in here shows Tyler and Kelsey planning to force me out of my job by staging negligence videos, social media posts with timestamps, texts Devin sent me confessing to their plan, all legal, all documented. Ray flipped through it. This is conspiracy. This is my life, I said. I'm filing for a cease and desist, restraining order if necessary. I want them away from my property and my work. Tyler laughed. You can't do that. I just did. Ray looked at Tyler. Kid, you need to walk away before this gets worse. It can't get worse. It can, I said. Kelsey's father is alive. Your wedding is national news by tomorrow. Your social media following is about to learn you're a fraud. Devin is probably getting arrested for trespassing right now, and I have enough documentation to bury you in legal fees for 5 years. You wouldn't. Try me. Tyler swung at me. I blocked, grabbed his arm, used his momentum to spin him into the fence. He hit hard, slid down, sat in the mud, crying. I hate you, he said. I know. Mom was right. You're nothing. If I'm nothing, you won't mind me leaving. I walked away. Gabe followed. Ray stayed with Tyler, calling an ambulance for the panic attack my son was having in the rain. Morning came cold. The article went live at 6 a.m. Nina Marsh didn't bury the lead. Local wedding becomes case study in housing fraud and family destruction. It was fair. She interviewed me. She interviewed June Park. She cited public records. She mentioned no names directly, but included enough context that anyone paying attention would know exactly who it was about. By 8 a.m., Kelsey's Instagram was flooded with comments. Her sponsorship started dropping. Tyler's startup put him on leave. Lila's wellness coaching page went private. I sat in my apartment, drinking coffee, watching the world I'd burned from a distance. Mara knocked. You okay? Yeah. You don't look okay. I'm relieved. She sat next to me. Naomi called me. She's asking questions about the letter you mentioned. What did you tell her? That she should ask you herself. My phone buzzed. Naomi, did you really write me a letter? I replied, yes, 2 years ago. You deleted it. 3 dots. Stopped. Started. I'm sorry. Okay. Can you send it again? No. Why? Because you had your chance to read it. I'm not giving you another one. She didn't respond. Lila called. I let it go to voicemail. She called again and again. On the 4th try, I answered. What? You destroyed us, she said. You destroyed us first. I just documented it. I want to meet, somewhere public, one conversation. Then I'll leave you alone. Why? Because I need you to understand what you did to our kids. I understand perfectly. I showed them consequences. Alex, please. I hung up. June called. The owner wants a meeting. He's concerned about the publicity. Tell him everything I did was legal and documented. He knows. He's impressed. He wants to offer you building manager instead of just superintendent. What? Promotion. More money. More authority. He thinks you proved you can handle difficult situations professionally. I laughed. Of course. You don't sound happy. I'm tired, June. Just tired. Take a few days. Think about it. I took a walk on the boardwalk. The rides were closed for maintenance. The ocean was gray and angry. I stood near the Ferris wheel, looking up at the platform where I'd cornered Devin, and thought about how far I'd fallen and climbed in 6 months. Gabe found me there. Kelsey called me. Yeah? She wants to meet. You going? I don't know. Do it. Give her the chance you never got. He nodded. You think she'll forgive me? Maybe. People are surprising when they're forced to see the truth. You sound like you're speaking from experience. I am. Gabe left. I stayed, watched the sun set behind the storm, felt the weight lift slightly. Not gone, just lighter. Kelsey posted an apology. It was vague, performative, and mentioned complicated family situations without admitting any wrongdoing. The comments were split. Half believed her, half didn't. Tyler disappeared offline. Naomi posted a video crying, talking about manipulation on both sides. Lila issued a statement through her wellness page about healing and moving forward. None of them mentioned me by name. I was a ghost in their narrative now, erased, exactly what they wanted to do to me. I spent the next week working maintenance, fixing pipes, checking locks, doing the job I'd always done. June approved my promotion. The owner sent a formal letter, more money, more responsibility, a title that matched the work I'd been doing all along. Old man Calder called. Heard you won. I survived. Same thing. Not quite. You feel guilty? No. I feel empty. That's normal. Revenge doesn't fill you, it just makes room. Room for what? Whatever comes next. Mara moved in with me. Not officially. She just stopped leaving. We fell into a rhythm. Mornings at the diner, evenings at the boardwalk, nights in comfortable silence. She didn't ask me about the kids. She knew better. Devin got arrested for trespassing and possession. Small amounts, enough for rehab or jail. He chose rehab. 5th time. Ray stopped by one evening. Tyler filed a complaint against you, harassment. Documented harassment? No, just feelings. I told him feelings aren't crimes. Thanks. You did a number on that family. They did it to themselves. Maybe, but you're the one who made sure everyone watched. Is that a problem? For me? No. For you? Time will tell. He left. I sat on my stoop and watched the building breathe around me. Tenants coming and going, lives unfolding behind locked doors, everything I'd fought to protect. The lawsuit came 3 months later. Tyler and Kelsey sued me for emotional distress, harassment, and defamation. They wanted $50,000. I called a lawyer. She read through their claims and laughed. This is nonsense. Everything you did was legal. They're just embarrassed. Can they win? Not a chance, but they can make you spend money on legal fees. How much? $5,000 to $10,000 to defend, maybe more if they drag it out. I thought about it, calculated the cost, decided. Let them come. The deposition was brutal. Tyler claimed I'd traumatized him by revealing Kelsey's father. Kelsey claimed I'd ruined her career. Their lawyer tried to paint me as a vindictive abuser who weaponized property law against vulnerable young people. My lawyer destroyed them. She presented every document, every text, every photograph, every piece of evidence showing they'd planned to force me out, steal my job, and take my home. The judge dismissed the case before it even went to trial. Frivolous. No merit. Tyler and Kelsey were ordered to pay my legal fees. They appealed, lost again. Naomi reached out after the second dismissal. Can we talk? Why? Because I was wrong. About a lot. And I want to try again, if you'll let me. I met her at a coffee shop. She looked tired, older, real. I read the articles, she said. I talked to Mara. I looked at the timeline you built. And I see it now. What they did. What I helped them do. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want, Naomi? Absolution? I can't give you that. You were part of the problem, now you see it. That's on you to live with. She cried. I didn't comfort her, just watched her work through it. Can I see the letter? She asked. The one you wrote? No. Why not? Because that letter was for a daughter who loved me. You're not her anymore. I could be. Could isn't will. I left her there. Felt nothing. No satisfaction. No guilt. just the cold math of consequences. Lila showed up at my building on a Thursday, buzzed my unit. I didn't answer. She waited, buzzed again. I watched her on the security monitor. She looked smaller, grayer. Finally, I went down. "What?" I said. "I'm pregnant." I stared. "Congratulations." "It's Devon's." I guessed. "He's in rehab. Again, I'm alone. I need help." "And you're telling me this why?" "Because you're the only person who ever actually cared about me." "Cared past tense. I'm done caring." "Alex?" "No, you don't get to do this. You don't get to cheat, lie, steal, and then come back when it falls apart." "I made a mistake." "You made 1,000 mistakes. The affair was just one." "I'm sorry." "Good. Be sorry somewhere else." She slapped me. Again, it was becoming a pattern. I didn't move. "If you touch me again, I'm calling the police." "You're heartless." "I'm protected. There's a difference." She left. I watched her get into a car I didn't recognize, watched her drive away, felt the door close on that chapter for good. June called. "Lila tried to get into 406 again, used an old key that doesn't work anymore because I changed the locks." "Where is she now?" "I called the police. She's banned from the property." "Good." "Alex, she's claiming squatters' rights. She lived there for 6 days 3 months ago. That's not squatting." "I know, but she's going to fight." "Let her fight. I've got documentation." The hearing was short. Lila claimed emotional hardship. I presented key logs, photographs, and witness statements proving she had no legal right to the unit. The judge ruled in my favor in under 20 minutes. Lila screamed at me in the hallway. "You're going to let me be homeless? You have a house. I can't afford it." "Sell it." "You bastard." "I'm the bastard who paid for that house. You're the cheater who kept it. Figure it out." She collapsed against the wall. Devon appeared, fresh out of rehab, looking lost. "Alex," he said, "come on, man. You two deserve each other." I walked away, felt lighter with every step. The auction happened 6 months after the wedding. June posted public notice for abandoned property in Unit 406. Everything Kelsey and Tyler left behind. Furniture, gifts, boxes of wedding decorations. Neighbors showed up, curious, hungry for deals, hungry for gossip. I stood in the corner, arms crossed, watching it unfold. The robe sold for $20, the wine glasses for $5. The boxes of gifts were opened and sorted, kitchen gadgets, picture frames, monogrammed towels. Tyler tried to stop it, filed an injunction, lost, showed up anyway, demanding I cancel the sale. "This is theft," he said. "This is legal reclamation of abandoned property. You were notified. You didn't respond. Per lease section 12.3, items left for more than 90 days become property of the building. You're insane. I'm thorough." Naomi showed up near the end, watched quietly. When the robe came up, I let her take it without bidding. "Keep it," I said. "A reminder." "Of what?" "That everything has a cost." She left without arguing. The sale raised $4,000. I donated it all to the building's emergency maintenance fund. June sent a receipt to every tenant. Transparency. Always transparency. A year passed. Tyler got a new job in another state. Kelsey divorced him. Naomi started therapy. Lila had a baby girl and named her something I didn't care to remember. Devon died of an overdose in a motel room. I read about it in the paper. Felt nothing. Gabe reconnected with Kelsey. Slowly. Coffee once a month. Texts. Baby steps toward something real. Mara and I got married at the courthouse. No guests, no ceremony, just signatures and a kiss. I kept working maintenance, kept fixing pipes, kept managing the building. The promotion stuck. The respect followed. I saw Tyler once, by accident, at a gas station. He didn't recognize me at first. Then he did. He nodded. I nodded. We both drove away. Some wounds don't heal. They just scar. The storm hit on a Tuesday, not a hurricane. Just a mean, nasty nor'easter that rattled windows and flooded streets. The boardwalk closed. The rides shut down. The generator kicked on with a mechanical roar that shook the ground. I was doing final checks when Devon's cousin showed up, angry, drunk. "You destroyed him," he shouted. "He destroyed himself. You could have helped." "I tried. He chose drugs." The cousin swung. I blocked. He came again. I used a maintenance pry bar to lever him against the fence. Not hard, just enough. Ray showed up, right on time. He always does. "This is getting old, Alex," Ray said. "I know. You can't keep fixing things this way." "Then how should I fix them?" Ray didn't answer. Just arrested the cousin for trespassing and assault. I stood in the storm, water pouring off the rides, lightning splitting the sky. The generator hummed. The alarms cycled. Everything I'd built, everything I'd protected, shaking in the wind. Tyler appeared, soaked, shaking. "I need help," he said. "With what?" "Money, job, something. Kelsey took everything." "And you want me to save you?" "You're my father." "No, I was your maintenance man. You made that clear. Please." I reached into my pocket, pulled out every key I owned, set them on the metal table under the ride lights, one by one. Clang, clang, clang. "You wanted keys," I said. "Take a good look. You never learned doors." Tyler stared at the keys, at me, at the storm around us. "What does that mean?" he whispered. "It means I'm done. You wanted me erased. Congratulations. I'm gone." I walked past him, through the storm, through the wind, through the life I'd rebuilt from the rubble they'd left. Behind me, Tyler screamed something. I didn't hear it, didn't care. The generator roared, the lights flashed, the boardwalk shook, and I kept walking.